Well, good evening, friends. Are you ready for our weekly Lenormand reading? This is for the week of March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I know we have another, we just had a lunar eclipse, and we're getting ready to have another solar eclipse on the 29th, I believe. So this should be an interesting end of March. Also, what else was I going to say? There was something else I was getting ready to tell you. Oh, it's good. It escapes me. It might pop in. That's what happens. I have to let it go. And it comes back. All right. Well, the very first card out is what Spirit would like to speak with us about, okay? So here we go. First card out is the book. The book is research. It's also possibly mystery. And then we've got the ship. The ship is your success. And then we've got the mountain. The mountain, it could be going on a vacation, obviously, but it can also be stagnant and stuck energy, okay? And then we've got the anchor, the landing, so I feel like that could possibly be stubborn energy. And then we have the fox, which is our little trickster, but then we have the sun. You know, the sun brightens all the aspects once again. Then we have the clouds, the lady, and the mice. Oh yeah, those mice. The mice are our concerns and fears when it's like near the clouds, okay? But the sun is there, so, you know, it has that feeling of what we worry about, you know, never happens, but really, if you worry, you can create it to happen. So be very mindful of that, okay? Next card out is the scythe, and then we have the stars, and then we have the stork, and then we have the tree, the lilies, the coffin, the child, the clover, and the gentleman. When I see the coffin and the child together, that's an ending for a new beginning. One door opens, another door, or one door closes, one door opens, and then it creates a wish fulfillment. We've got the tree and the gentleman, that's your healing energy. And then by the career card of the lily, it has that longevity feel to it, and we're making progress, and I do see some lucky breaks in that mix. I also see possibly a change of direction, because the stork and the scythe are there. That can kind of, you know, give off that energy or feel to it, okay? Then we've got the tower, and then we have the snake, and then we have the bear, and then we have the key, and then we have the ring, and then we have the birds, and then we have the rider, and then we have the letter, and then we have the flowers. I see an invitation here, or, you know, a pleasant conversation. And then I see, you know, a significant, maybe time of the past, or, you know, the tower is, you know, that tower feel has that official. And then I see the snake and the bear. You know, that finances come to mind, banking comes to mind, offers come to mind because the ring's in the center. But it could also be a relationship, a significant relationship, could be returning, or yeah, that's kind of what it feels like because the flowers are next to it. So, you know, that feeling of forward momentum, but also a feeling of, you know, being cautious, being careful, being diplomatic. You know, when I see that snake tends to, you know, be a little, you know, it kind of can be cautious, but it can also be kind of slippery, and it can be, you know, a little dangerous. It can spook the horse, you know, so just be mindful. You know, don't if you're going to do something possibly with somebody, you know, from your past, just take it slow, okay? Because that snake kind of gives that feel to it, okay? Danger. And then the bear is, you know, kind of that feeling of coming out of hibernation. You know, take things slower, okay? But finances are also in the mix. So I don't know if maybe, you know, a return on your investment, you know, possibly interest the things that you pay for now, be mindful that there might be interest having to be paid back. That's the feel, okay? But like I say, in different contexts, the cards can mean different things, okay? And then we've got the garden, and then we've got the moon, the whip, the fish, the crossroads, the cross, the heart, the house, and the dog. So I see, family, the choices that we make are kind of in the middle. So we might have different roads, different places that we're going, but in community involvements are in the picture, friendships are in the picture, and softer energies with the heart. Okay, I love to see that part of it. But we've got the whip and we have the cross. That kind of has that feeling of some things you must do. So, just make sure you take care of business before, you maybe, go other places, finish your work here, and then you can leave and take care of the things that bring you the passion. So, but I like the phrase too, work hard, but play harder. I mean, I'm a fan of having a good time, but you have to get your work done, okay? Work comes first. But sometimes, if we're enjoying the work that you do, it doesn't feel like work, obviously. That could also have meant that too. But we have multiple directions that you're going to be taking and choices that you're going to need to make. Could be too multiple income streams, because that's right here in the career area. Oh, I feel like there's going to be something that's starting that is, kind of, like that huge wish fulfillment or stardom, or just maybe something very exciting, something new, though. New is on the horizon after an ending. Okay, that door closes, another one opens. Okay, just be very cautious. We've got that snake there, remember. So it could be, some difficult conversations, but, challenging. We want to be challenged. We don't want to, life can be kind of, if it's not challenging, it's kind of boring, okay? But idle hands are the devil's workshop too, so. All right, yeah, I love to see that sun and that stars together. That has a beautiful feeling to it, along with the moon and the heart. But the cross is there with the coffin. So, I do feel that some things must come to an end. Things that you must do that might cause a little bit of uncomfortableness. And it has that growing pain feel to it, okay? But you're going to enjoy whatever it is that's coming to a close and a new door is opening. It's going to create a very pleasant, happy conclusion, okay? So just keep that in mind. If it's something that doesn't feel good, or you're concerned about or worried about, try not to worry too much, because I feel like that end result is what you're after, okay? Conversations are words. When we speak our words, we kind of have a way of bringing our words into form, okay? So just be mindful of the choice of words that you're using. That matters. There's, trying to stay positive is one thing, but you also have to put the feeling behind those thoughts. So, you can say, wonderful affirmations, but if you don't actually feel it, it's not going to manifest as fast, at least. Okay. I do see a little bit of, the mice with the whip and the fox. Those are very challenging cards, and the scythe. Information is definitely coming through. that competition kind of feel is back again, and it's causing a little bit of nervous energy. And I do feel that it has to do with your lifestyle, and a little bit of well, this could be a career card too, with both of the fox and the lily and the fish. So it could just be handling the books. Maybe if a contract is coming through, read all of the fine print. Don't just glance over things. You really need to, pay attention to detail. That's what it's saying with the mice too, for sure. Let's see, what else do I see? I see some planting more seeds too. So the things that you have been working on are starting to come into fruition there. I see the the solution is there, the green light. I do see where the stagnant, stuck energy is freeing up though, because we've got the mountain and the stork next to the mountain. So things are starting to move forward again. And it can also be looking at things from a higher perspective. Okay. But yeah, I see competition though, but it's between colleagues possibly, or partners. It's very challenging. And I do feel like abundance or finances, possibly attraction, plays a role in this. Okay. Let's see what else. I see a little bit of butterfly feel too. We have multiple types of offers, and I do see the sun next to that. So I feel like there's some positive things to be looking forward to. But we do have a little bit of concern, a little bit of bumpy road there too. So I just feel like, once again, try to keep it, maintain that positive attitude, and use your words and feel that, that positive result. Okay. It could be too a little bit of spirituality, that snake and that cross has that, knowledge of good and evil feel to it, or, morals and values, your moral compass, use your wise discernments, though, that feeling to it. Okay. Your gut intuition, your gut feeling is going to really tell you whether you should proceed forward or maybe possibly wait. Because I feel that it's kind of got that, hot, cold feel to it, or maybe, if something sounded like it was a good idea, and then as you get a little closer, you're like, maybe not. Just try to use your gut feeling on whether something feels good or not. Okay. And don't let anybody dim your light. That's another message here too. Okay. Yeah, I see some navigational issues, because I see movement cards here. And it could be possibly at night, because the stars and the moon are out. So just maybe be cautious while you're driving. Let's see what else. I do see a positive conclusion though. In spiritual talks, probably heartfelt talks, and possibly with children and star child. Very, like, maybe a child that's smart, that's smarter than their years, or a little wise beyond their years. Let's see what else. I do see healing though, healing emotions. But I do see some stubborn, stagnant, stuck energy too. But, things are opening up. We have communication here, maybe a little bit of challenging, difficult concerns and fears and worries. But, the flowers are there, so must be doing something right. Pathway to success. So I think sometimes we doubt rather than, instead of saying, what can go wrong, we need to think of what can go right, And one of the things that I have had, came to my mind this past week, which I see it here, and the cards tend to do that to me, is, you're only as happy as your saddest child. And we've got the sun, the child, and the clouds here. So that spells that out. But, my son Kyle, he says, but what if you're as happy as your happiest child, Mom? And I say, he's right. So you just focus on what brings you joy and what brings you happiness. But I do see information is definitely coming through, and it's challenging. And we do have a tower here, but towers are good, especially when we've got a sun right next to it. So I like to see that. You might be going places with friends or children or family members. Maybe too, the spiritual journey we're on and the spiritual paths that we're on. Those choices, they do change up our timeline. And, at a minor degrees sometimes, but major sometimes, think about some of the choices that you've made and, some of the things that have come from that, like had I not been here, I wouldn't have met this person that sent me on this path. Okay. Just look at it that way. But career is definitely in focus, and, offers in, significant or official information, possibly going back to school or doing more research, okay? Maybe learning something, it could be manuals, like if you just recently purchased something, you might want to read the manual. I know I'm not real good about that. I have to look at it, and it's nice to have the manuals, but I tend to, look at something and try to figure it out without having to do that. But sometimes it's best to read that manual. Let's see. I do see a little bit of third-party energy, though, in a focal point here. So I don't know what that could possibly mean. It doesn't always mean a relationship. It can mean, three people that, you're collaborating with, or, three different projects you're working on. It just means that you have a lot going on, and, there's like third party, possible interference. Okay. So, all right, folks. Well, that's all I got this week. If you'd like a more personal reading, I'd love to sit down with you. So feel free to reach out anytime. You have a blessed week. Take care.